Welcome to English Weaver, where you learn English through story. Today we dive into Michelangelo Buonarroti's life, a sculptor, painter, and visionary. Remember to subscribe for more inspiring tales. Imagine Florence in 1475, alive with art and ambition. A young Michelangelo gazed at ancient sculptures, his heart pounding with desire to rival the masters who came before him. Even as a boy, he sketched in mud and carved small stones by candlelight, driven by an inner fire that rejected ordinary work and embraced the challenge of true creation. His passion was matched only by his precision. He studied anatomy relentlessly, convinced that understanding every muscle and curve would bring marble to life under his chisel. In a world of dazzling painters, Michelangelo dared to claim mastery of marble. His focus was fierce, his dreams vast, and his confidence grew with every draft and clay model. Yet behind this bold spirit lay quiet determination. He spent long hours in dusty workshops, listening to scholars debate art theory, absorbing every insight like a sponge. His early mentors saw something extraordinary in his meticulous sketches and fearless ideas. They whispered that this young apprentice would one day transform art itself. With a single glance at a block of flawed marble, he envisioned monumental figures, seeing possibilities where others saw only imperfections and risk. His vision demanded action. He vowed to forge a path defined by innovation, emotion, and unshakable belief that art could capture both divine beauty and human struggle. As you prepare to follow his journey, let his courage and creativity inspire your own. Keep your curiosity alive and get ready to witness a legend taking shape in stone. Born in Caprese in 1475, Michelangelo entered a modest family where marble work met civic duty, and his father managed town affairs, instilling discipline mixed with curiosity. His mother died when he was 6, leaving a quiet emptiness in his heart. Yet it fueled his introspective nature and deepened every sketch with silent emotion. At 7, he moved with his family to Florence, the bustling art capital where stone carvings and painted walls whispered stories of genius and inspired his young mind. Florence's narrow streets brimmed with sculptors and painters, and Michelangelo wandered among them, eyes wide, soaking in each curve of marble and brushstroke on plaster. His father wished him to study business, but Michelangelo resisted, slipping away at dawn to Lorenzo de' Medici's sculpture garden, drawn by the call of stone. There, among classical busts, he traced marble contours with his fingertips, dreaming of freeing angels and heroes trapped within cold rock. At 13, he apprenticed with Domenico Ghirlandaio, learning to mix pigments and paint frescoes, but his heart belonged to carving, and his hands ached for chisel work. He sketched tirelessly after hours, capturing peasants' weathered faces and flowing robes with vivid lines that hinted at the soul beneath each form. His mentors marveled at his precision and thought he absorbed lessons like a sponge, yet they warned him that true mastery demanded decades of toil. Under Medici patronage, he studied Latin texts by Vitruvius, learning harmony and proportion, and he debated theology and art with scholars who shaped his lofty ideals. He dissected cadavers in secret, determined to understand muscle tension and skeletal structure, convinced that truth in form led to truth in expression. His early clay models showed emotional depth beyond his years, as he molded mothers comforting children and warriors locked in silent struggle. Friends recall his grave focus, how he shut out laughter and chatter, preferring the scratch of pencil on paper to idle play under the sun. He faced teasing for his somber mood, yet each critique sharpened his resolve to prove that passion and precision could reshape the world's view of art. His family's limited means forced him to accept small commissions, carving cherubs for local churches, lessons in humility, and the value of steady work. Days blurred into weeks as he labored late into the night, candle wax dripping on rough sketches, each line a step toward his sculptural dreams. At 15, he completed his first marble relief, the Battle of the Centaurs, wielding his small tools with authority, unveiling depth and drama in every carved muscle. The relief impressed Florentine nobles, earning him respect and a renewed scholarship. Yet Michelangelo remained restless, craving grander challenges. He studied under Bertoldo di Giovanni, learning to copy ancient gems and metals, and thus honed his fine motor skills and eye for minute detail. Each gem taught him subtle curvature and light play, lessons he carried into his marble visions of saints and saviors. His teenage years blended rigorous training with bursts of solitary creativity, as he sketched ruins at dawn and carved drafts of angelic forms by dusk. The echoes of Florence's workshops shaped his rhythm, each hammer strike and brushstroke fueling a fierce drive to transcend limitations. He learned that mastery required patience, and every flawed piece taught resilience, preparing him for monumental works ahead. His early friendships were scarce, but profound, as fellow apprentices shared his hunger for perfection, pushing each other beyond comfort zones. Michelangelo's childhood forged him through loss and labor, melding introspection with ambition and sculpting a spirit unbowed by adversity. These formative years laid the bedrock of his legacy, as marble and mortar blended with his soul to form a foundation for greatness. His story reminds us that humble beginnings and quiet determination can ignite extraordinary journeys toward mastery. Carry these lessons in your own growth as you build knowledge brick by brick and shape your ambitions with unwavering faith. At 19, Michelangelo returned to Florence and received his first major commission, a marble statue of the Madonna. His dedication turned cold stone into a gentle, lifelike form that amazed patrons. Soon after, he traveled to Rome to carve the Pietà, revealing Mary's sorrow and Christ's calm beside her. Every fold in the drapery showed his study of human emotion and divine grace. The Pietà's delicate details, from Christ's veins to Mary's tears, defined a new sculptural standard. Viewers said the marble seemed to breathe, feeling both tenderness and reverence in each line. In 1504, Florence announced a contest to create a statue of David. Carved from a single block of flawed marble, Michelangelo's vision overcame material faults and captivated the city. His David, poised before battle, held tension in every muscle and vein. Towering over 5 meters tall, it embodied the spirit of Florence and human strength in perfect proportion. Patrons and citizens flocked to see David, praising Michelangelo's skill and bold creativity. His work inspired artists to embrace realism and emotion, transforming the course of Renaissance art. In 1508, Pope Julius II summoned him to Rome to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Michelangelo hesitated, but his sense of divine purpose and challenge led him to accept the daunting task. He spent 4 years on scaffolding, painting over 3,000 square feet of fresco. The scenes from Genesis, prophets, and Sibyls unfolded with dramatic power and vibrant storytelling. His creation of Adam became iconic, capturing the spark of life as 2 hands nearly touch. This moment fused art and faith, symbolizing humanity's connection to the divine. Beyond painting and sculpture, Michelangelo excelled in architecture. After 1546, he led work on St. Peter's Basilica, designing the dome that today crowns the Vatican with majestic grace. His architectural plans blended classical principles with structural innovation. He balanced form and function, creating spaces that uplifted worshippers and demonstrated human ingenuity. In Florence, he designed the Laurentian Library's vestibule and staircase, exploring how architecture could express movement and tension, much like his sculptures conveyed emotion. His later sculptures, including Moses and the slaves for Pope Julius II's tomb, revealed a powerful intensity. Moses' stern gaze and twisted body captured divine authority in frozen marble. The slaves, also called the bound slaves, remained unfinished, yet their coarse texture and struggling poses hinted at his evolving style, seeking to express human longing and spiritual struggle. Michelangelo's notebooks reveal his creative process, containing sketches, architectural drafts, and poetic verses. These pages show how he balanced logic and emotion in each design. His poetry, often addressed to friends and patrons, spoke of love, faith, and the burdens of genius. These verses, though less known, shed light on his inner life and reflective spirit. Over 60 years, he mastered sculpture, painting, and architecture, leaving a unified legacy. Each medium carried his trademark intensity, study of anatomy, and pursuit of perfection. Renaissance rulers and modern scholars alike study his techniques. They travel to Florence and Rome to stand before his works, learning how passion and precision merge in each masterpiece. His career taught future generations that art could combine narrative drama with scientific observation, setting a benchmark for realism and emotional impact in visual storytelling. Michelangelo's achievements remind us that dedication to craft, fearless innovation, and deep study can transform raw materials into works of lasting beauty and power. His life shows how one person's vision can reshape culture, inspire countless artists, and endure through centuries, echoing in every sculpture, fresco, and building inspired by his hand. As you reflect on his remarkable achievements, think about your own projects. What practice, study, and bold thinking can help you bring your vision to life? Keep these lessons as you continue to learn English and craft your own creative path. Now prepare to explore his challenges and discover how he overcame trials on his quest for greatness. His innovative use of perspective and dramatic composition redefined how painters and sculptors approached storytelling, bridging human emotion and divine narrative in every scene he created. The technical mastery seen in his fresco technique, such as drying plaster and bold color blending, became a foundational study for painters seeking to capture light and movement. Critics and students studied his work during his lifetime. Apprentices gathered in his studios, learning marble carving methods and fresco application, preserving his techniques for future generations. His cross-disciplinary brilliance, seamlessly moving between sculpture, painting, and design, showed that creativity thrives when artists push beyond conventional boundaries and merge different art forms. From his first marble relief to his final architectural drawings, Michelangelo's career resonates as a testament to relentless curiosity, lifelong learning, and a bold commitment to artistic truth. As we journey from his greatest achievements to his deepest struggles, reflect on how mastery often follows passion and perseverance, guiding us toward our own creative breakthroughs. Despite soaring fame, Michelangelo encountered doubt when he claimed he could paint the Sistine ceiling, as many believed a sculptor lacked the finesse for such vast fresco work. His temper flared under pressure from Pope Julius II, whose shifting demands forced Michelangelo to adjust scenes and compositions at a moment's notice. Funding delays left him idle for weeks, his mind restless as he feared losing momentum on this sacred commission and his reputation beginning to fade. Working on scaffolding high above the chapel floor, he endured constant neck and back pain, muscles screaming with each brushstroke he applied under harsh light. Rainstorms in Rome threatened the wet plaster, forcing him to pause painting and scramble for protective coverings, worried the colors would run or the plaster crack. Rival artists mocked his figure's nudity, calling them indecent in a holy space, yet he refused to compromise, believing the human form celebrated divine creation. In Florence, political upheaval interrupted his commissions as rival factions exiled him, leaving projects unfinished and his spirit burdened by uncertainty. He once smashed a marble block in frustration when internal fractures ruined months of sculpting, accepting the loss, yet vowing to learn from the flaw. Financial strain forced him to sell prized drawings, each sketch a treasure now gone, traded to fund basic studio needs and sustain his relentless work. Depression weighed on him during periods of solitude, his pen scrawling letters of self-doubt even as he vowed to honor his divine calling through art. Health crises struck in his later years, fevers confining him to bed and delaying work on Pope Leo IX's tomb, his sturdy frame weakened by relentless effort. During the Laurentian Library project, disagreements with church leaders over design details led to bitter disputes and further stalled the staircase he had envisioned. Bramante's rivalry over St. Peter's Dome plans ignited fierce clashes, each architect defending his vision while navigating fragile alliances in the Vatican. Michelangelo battled isolation as friends drifted away, unsettled by his intensity and single-minded focus on every chisel mark and brushstroke. He broke personal relationships believing solitude necessary for genius, yet the cost was loneliness that echoed in his poetry and late-night sketches. Critiques of his architectural drawings stung as scholars questioned his structural ideas, forcing him to revise plans repeatedly until they met his exacting standards. Each setback tested his resilience, yet he returned to his workbench or plaster scaffold with renewed determination, convinced adversity refined his art. He embraced failure as teacher, transforming broken marble fragments into study pieces, each reassembled shard offering new insight into form and depth. When plaster cracked mid-scene, he repaired it meticulously, matching pigments and smoothing joints, determined that no flaw would undermine his vision. Despite constant pain and doubt, he pressed on, finding solace in silent prayer and late-night sketches that reminded him of his deeper purpose. His challenges deepened his empathy as he understood the struggle behind every brushstroke and every chisel cut, forging art rich with human emotion. Through controversy and hardship, Michelangelo's spirit grew steadfast, each obstacle reinforcing his belief in beauty's power to transcend suffering. These trials teach us that even the greatest minds face fear, doubt, and loss, and it is through perseverance and faith in our vision that we overcome them. After decades of tireless creativity, Michelangelo's influence spread throughout Europe, inspiring sculptors, painters, and architects to pursue greater realism and emotional depth in their work. His statue of David became a symbol of human potential and civic pride, encouraging cities to commission public art and view artistic expression as a reflection of cultural identity. The Sistine Chapel ceiling redefined narrative fresco painting, teaching generations to blend dramatic storytelling with anatomical precision to evoke powerful emotional responses. Architects studied his plans for St. Peter's Dome, adopting his methods of balancing structural innovation and aesthetic harmony, shaping the skylines of countless cities. His Laurentian Library vestibule, with its flowing stair design, showed how architecture could express movement and emotion, influencing Baroque and later architectural styles. Sculptors such as Bernini and Canova built on his techniques, using dramatic poses and intricate detail to capture the psychological essence of their subjects in marble. His notebooks, filled with sketches, architectural drafts, and poetic musings, became treasured teaching tools, revealing his process of continuous refinement and learning. Generations of art students studied his drawings and letters to understand how he balanced technical discipline with creative intuition in every medium. Museums in Florence and Rome display his masterpieces alongside contemporary works, inviting visitors to compare evolving styles and appreciate his timeless impact. Art historians credit Michelangelo with elevating the status of the artist to that of a creative genius, worthy of both scholarly study and public admiration. His emphasis on perseverance, self-belief, and rigorous study became guiding principles for artistic training programs worldwide, shaping curriculums to this day. Poets and writers drew on his life story of struggle and triumph, portraying him as a heroic figure who harnessed adversity to fuel his creative fire. Public admiration turned Michelangelo into a cultural icon, and his legacy transcends art, reminding us that dedication and vision can reshape entire cultural landscapes. His life teaches us that true success blends talent, discipline, and passion, and that artistic innovation often emerges from challenging accepted norms. The emotional realism in his works encourages us to embrace vulnerability, understanding that expressing deep feeling can connect us across time and place. His architectural achievements remind us that functional design need not sacrifice beauty, and that thoughtful proportions can elevate everyday spaces into inspiring places. Modern artists and designers still reference his studies of anatomy and perspective, proving that foundational skills remain vital even as styles evolve. His story shows us that failure and self-doubt are integral to growth, and that perseverance through hardship often leads to breakthroughs in creative practice. Michelangelo's legacy lives on in every carving, brushstroke, and blueprint that follows his example, a testament to the lasting power of dedicated craftsmanship. As you reflect on his impact, consider how you can apply his principles of continuous practice, bold experimentation, and unwavering belief to your own endeavors. Let his achievements inspire you to push beyond comfort zones, refine your skills with diligence, and remain open to learning from every success and setback. Through studying his life, we learn that each creative act can leave a meaningful legacy when fueled by passion, discipline, and a commitment to excellence. May Michelangelo's enduring influence guide you to pursue your goals with courage and dedication, sculpting your own path to success in art, learning, and life. In conclusion, we reflect on how Michelangelo's journey from apprentice to master shows passion shaped his timeless art and guided his creative spirit forward. His perseverance taught us that dedication brings mastery, and that every challenge can strengthen our resolve to achieve great things. Thank you for joining English Weaver today and exploring this inspiring story of grit and creativity in simple English. If you enjoyed this tale, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more stories that help you learn English through narrative. Leave a comment and tell us which lesson from Michelangelo's life inspired you the most, whether it is resilience, vision, or relentless practice. We would love to hear what motivates you to pursue your own passions and how you apply these insights in your daily life. Which historical figure or topic would you like us to explore next? And what questions do you have about their journey and lessons? Hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of English Weaver, keeping your English learning journey engaging and meaningful. Remember to practice new words like perseverance, creativity, and vision in your own writing to deepen your understanding and confidence. Until next time, keep listening, reading, and creating. And let the stories of great artists like Michelangelo inspire your own path. Thank you for watching and learning with us, and we look forward to sharing more tales that strengthen both your English and your imagination. Feel free to share this video with friends who want to improve English and find inspiration in the lives of history's greatest creators.